Thomas returns. One beautiful winter day, Percy had visited Thomas at the steamworks to see how he was doing. "Oh, Thomas," said Percy, "how are you doing?" "I'm doing good, Percy. I'm just getting finished up with my repairs. I should be back on the branch line soon." "There's no soon or anything, Thomas. You're all repaired now. You can head to the branch line now. Come on, old boy. Let's get to the branch line." Thomas was excited. "All right, sir. Let's go." "Right with you, Thomas." But Thomas didn't know that the engines were actually celebrating something special for Thomas to celebrate his bravery of his accident. And it was hosted by Sonic the Hedgehog and Knuckles the Enkenda. Soon, a few hours later, Thomas was soon repaired and after being checked over by Tails, the Flying Scotsman came to greet him. He pulled alongside Husband Percy. "Well done, Thomas," said Flying Scotsman. "You did very well. You survived that accident." "Yeah, I did," said Thomas. "I'm just glad I could be a really useful engine again." Just then, Henry and Edward bustled in. They had come to congratulate Thomas's accident. "Well done," Henry said. "Yes, well done," said Edward. "We heard all about it. We're proud of you," said Edward. "Thank you," Thomas said. "I could have done it without Sonic and Tails and Knuckles' help. And my driver, too." "Don't worry about that, Thomas. You are very welcome." "Right, Knucks?" "Yeah," said Knuckles. "We're just glad we could help." Thomas smiled. "You're a good friend I can ever ask for," he said. While the engines were celebrating their party, but before Thomas could finish, "Where's Golden?" Well, he had to go to the mainland to take a special train." "Yes, my brother has to go to the mainland to pick up some passengers," he said. The Flying Scotsman said. "He won't be back until the next day." Thomas was surprised. "I see. But you don't have to worry about that, though. I'm glad you asked where he went. He's away to the mainland, taking some passengers. That's why the Flying Scotsman is here to take his normal express train, along with Edward and James. But anyways, me and Knuckles are needed to go back to our shack." "Oh, I'm glad you're doing well, Thomas," said Sonic. "You were very brave." "You were very brave today, Thomas. We're glad you are doing well." "Thank you," Thomas said. "I could not have done it without you." "You're very welcome, Thomas. You're very welcome." As Sonic and Knuckles watched as Thomas celebrated his victory of his recent accident, had felt very, very brave. Soon the engines all gathered around to listen to Thomas's story. Edward and Henry went onto Percy's track to listen more. "So there was a broken track?" asked Edward. "Yes, Edward. When I went to collect those trucks, I was shunting, which was those vans that had pushed me off the rails, but I guess the trucks didn't do it. So it must have been somebody must have did something to their brakes. I believe that's right, Thomas. Me and Knuckles are trying to figure out who did that. But who? You gotta figure that out. I don't think you would have to, Thomas said. I mean, I'm repaired now. Yeah, you're quite right, Thomas. Anyways, welcome back to the branch line, Thomas. Glad to have you back. And another good thing is, you and Percy and the rest of the Steam team are gonna be a secret agent. Thomas and Percy, what a surprise. Thank you, Thomas said. Thank you, Thomas. Sonic, Thomas said. Yeah, thank you, said Percy. You're welcome, Thomas. It was a pleasure. It was no pressure, said Knuckles. We're glad to come to the island. Indeed, said Sonic. Well, glad to have you back once again. I'll see you back at the sheds, said Sonic. Alright then, said Thomas. See you then. And with that, Sonic and Knuckles had walked away. However, as the engines were celebrating their victory of Thomas's bravest accident, the Fat Controller arrived to congratulate him again, too, and his driver. My Thomas, you look as good as new. Tails, I knew Tails would help get you repaired more faster. Just like the Steamworks, he said. Glad to have you back. Now, since you did a good job, I'm gonna let you just take a break for a while. You don't have to worry about your branch line for a while. I'll get 2 new engines gonna take over for you while you're away, doing your fun day off. And if you want to, you and Percy can have a little venture with Sonic and Knuckles. Go on a little mission to celebrate your first agency. To be an agency. An agent. Engine. That would be awesome, sir, said Thomas. But before we do that, sir, can my driver give me a nice polish? Of course, Thomas. We will do that right now. And so the driver went to get some paint, and he polished Thomas's number 1. As the engines were celebrating, none of them knew that Marion, the railway steam shovel, was right behind them, and she was busy digging. I do love digging, she sang. Da 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 da. And suddenly she found a block. What's this? She said. She tried to lift it, but the brick was too big. I wonder what this is, she asked. As Sonic and Knuckles were just walking nearby, they saw the railway steam shovel looking at something. Excuse me, Marion. Must say, you must have found something special, came a voice. Marion was startled. It was Sonic the Hedgehog, and Knuckles the Echidna. They had heard everything. Well, what we have here? Marion, the railway steam shovel. You had found something very special. This is what Steve was looking for. Who's Steve? Asked Marion. He's a Minecrafter that survives out in the woods and tries to build a house to survive himself. Yeah, said Knuckles. He's the coolest guy ever. He also came to the island of Sodor to help with the mystery of the missing crystals. Remember that, Sonic? Oh yeah, that's right, said Sonic. He came to Sodor to team up with me and Thomas and Percy to look for the missing crystals. What a smart person you are, Knuckles. Knuckles smiled. Thank you, Sonic bro, he said. No problem, Sonic said. No problem, Knuckles, said Sonic. But anyways, I think we need to put this into the truck. he said. We need to get this into a truck right away. Hey, Thomas. Sorry to interrupt your polish, but can you come here for a minute? Of course, sir. Of course, Sonic. So Thomas's driver went to his cab and reversed it. What is it, Thomas asked? What is it, Sonic? Thomas asked. Marion had found Steve's diamond block. I need you to take it to my shack so we can look after it for Steve. Yes, sir, said Thomas. Soon the diamond was loaded into Thomas's truck, and Marion had puffed out of the way for Thomas in front, and she carried on to look for any other digging. Thomas puffed away with it. He dropped her off at the shack, and he headed back to his surprise party. And once again, Thomas was a really useful engine. He had survived his accident and was very useful indeed. With Sonic the Hedgehog and Knuckles the Enchanter coming to the island of Sodor was the most awesome thing of the whole railway. And Thomas, who was the proudest of all, couldn't agree more that Sonic the Hedgehog and Knuckles the Enchanter was the coolest friend he could ever ask for. It was the best friends he could ever ask on the island of Sodor.